8 of us so far on the call, which is great. Just to reiterate, I'm holding these once a month. I am recording them. Last month's meeting webinar was on Meetup and using Meetup. I've also created a page on the district website, so I will send that out to you guys as well. There's a link, and it's accessible when you log into the district website, and it's going to have the resources from tonight as well as a link to the recording. And then I will post the recording also. I'll put a note out on the Facebook page as well, so that this information you can get to later. I would ask that you mute yourself during the conversation. I'm actually hoping that we can have more conversation this time. Last time when we talked about Meetup, it was more more of me talking than I really wanted it to be. So I will encourage you guys to ask questions. You can type any questions as we're going through things. Just type them in the chat, and then I'll read them and answer them at one time. We will also have the Q&A and discussion, open discussion. So if you have any questions specifically about communications and promotions within your club that you want to discuss in the last portion of tonight's webinar, that's what that time is for. So I'm assuming everybody can see my screen. So go ahead and get started. As we get started, I want to thank you guys for joining me today. I do want to make a couple of announcements because we've got some really exciting events happening district-wide in the next, actually starting in October. And October 26th, the annual Leadership Symposium and Hall of Fame luncheon. We have a speaker, Andrew Kerr, coming in to do the keynote speech, keynote address, and to present sessions on leadership. He has written a book on servant leadership and has been involved in Toastmasters for some time, and is a presenter and a speaker on leadership skills, servant leadership, which is the model that Toastmasters uses for leadership development across members. So he is going to be speaking the keynote address at the October 26th Leadership Symposium and Hall of Fame. That also will be the Hall of Fame. Basically, we will announce, the district will announce who the Toastmaster of the Year, as well as other awards for this past Toastmasters year. So you definitely want to make plans to go to that. There will be all sessions, educational sessions, in addition to Andrew's keynote address. We also have exciting news about the Kansas City Toastmasters Leadership Institute, and it's going to be on December 7th. The announcement last week, we had a change over the weekend with the venue. So it's actually going to be on December 7th. And Aaron Beverly, who was the 2019 World Champion of Public Speaking for Toastmasters International, he is presenting the keynote and will be doing sessions at the TLI, at the Kansas City TLI on December 7th. So you definitely want to put that on your calendar and plan to be there. That's going to be a really great opportunity to learn from Aaron and his experience. He's competed at that level several times. I know he placed second. He was the world champion this year, and he's placed second in the most recent years. So the other thing that is going to be occurring through October, and this is really for you guys as VPPRs. Overall, for the whole district, I'm wanting all of our clubs, any of our clubs, to have open houses and informational meetings, so that here at the start, following membership and dues being paid, is start focusing on growth and getting the word out about your club. and inviting and empowering your clubs. I'm calling your members, they're basically your club's ambassadors. So that's what the focus on this meeting is tonight, is we're going to talk about open houses, the plan process, the promote process, how you prepare, how you hold, and how you follow up. And following tonight, I'm going to post several resources that I've also found on various Toastmasters sites and articles and ideas. So I will be opening up the call. So I'm hoping if you have questions that you just go ahead and speak up as we're going through that. Because I think open houses and or even within a corporate club, you should have them minimum once a year. And I'm actually thinking you should do them more often than that, to focus on getting people in. Have a focus for your members to invite their friends, their coworkers, their neighbors, invite the businesses around where your club meets for members to come and visitors to come see what Toastmasters is like. Each club has a particular culture and environment, and that's unique for each club. That was one of my key takeaways from when I was area director last year. I really enjoyed going out to different club meetings and seeing how much the variety there was and learning from those other approaches. So we'll talk about that in more detail. Let's see, why is it not going? There we go. There it is. So open houses. Within your club, there are two things. For your club to be healthy, it needs to have enough members, and you need to have new members, a continual stream of new members regularly, because other people are going to move on. That's kind of a natural transition. People will be moving on. Some people stay, and some people have to move to another place or get a different job, or they're moving to another location. So within your club, you want to have an ongoing feed of new members, people interested in your club, people working on different levels of their educational path, so to speak. Some people that are beginners, some people that have been in there for a while are more experts. It's really great to have a balance of people at different stages in their personal Toastmasters journey. So open houses are one of the most important things that you can do, and you can encourage your club to do, to invite people to come and see your meeting and see what makes it special. So basically, there are just 5 steps. It's a lot to do. There's a lot to do. It's a fairly large project. It can be a larger project, but it is essentially holding a meeting that shows and demonstrates what Toastmasters does, how it works for the members. And the way you do that is having your members, all your members involved, inviting people to come to it, planning it, showing what it's about. So you're going to have one or two, you're basically going to have a meeting that you're going to make more effort to get more visitors to that. So basically you're going to plan it. You're going to, as soon as you get it planned, you're going to start promoting it ahead of time. And so we're going to talk about some ideas to promote that and get the word out to your community. We're going to approach talk about the promotion from both a corporate club perspective as well as an open club perspective, because there are some differences in how to handle that. The importance is fairly similar, but the promotion you might approach it differently because you have different resources. And then preparation. It's not just holding a regular meeting, although you should have a goal of having high quality meetings every time, because that keeps members engaged, keeps them working on their projects and proceeding and actively attending and participating. Then you actually hold your event, hold your open house. Hopefully it's a great success. You get some more people, get some new people in there, and then you follow up with them and you continue to include them. And so we're going to talk about each aspect of those stages, of those steps, those phases for an open house. So the first step is really to plan. And basically with any kind of event in marketing and communications, you really have to focus on, and you'll see this in the Toastmasters plans of how to plan a presentation. You're going to focus on the who, the what, the when, the where, and the how. Basically how people can register, how people can come. So when you're thinking about the planning and your club picks a date or decides they're going to have an open house, it is very important that it is your whole club. As many of your members as possible should be involved in it, either filling roles or helping to do things for the event. But there are some key positions in those roles, and there is going to, which will be a chair and a chief, a co-chair. Usually with some clubs, they have a couple people leading, having an open house, and then defining who the Toastmaster is for that open house. Then the what. So what are we going to show? What are we going to do? What are you going to talk about? Basically, that open house is a demonstration or an example, a good example of a quality meeting. You want to show, you want to think about, why did I join Toastmasters? Why do I stay involved in it? And develop your program to focus on those whys, what's in it for a new member, what's in it for a person, which is basically, from my perspective, for me, is I wanted to get more confident in presenting to other people in a larger group. So when you decide on your program, generally you decide what you're going to do and what you're going to have in your open house. Some clubs may have an opportunity to have an open house and extend invitations to people beyond their club because they have a guest speaker. It's going to be a special program or something like that. But that's not necessarily required to have an open house. What I recommend is you have at least one, maybe two prepared speeches. You have quality evaluations, and you have table topics. To me, those aspects, they show the main points, and basically your members are filling different roles in that. When you're demonstrating the value of what a Toastmasters meeting environment is like, showing how supportive it is. It's a safe environment for people to learn new things. It's fun. So you want to make sure you're having a fun time so people enjoy themselves during the open house. You want to show, take advantage of your culture. Clubs do different things. Some clubs have joke masters. Some clubs do a quote of the day or a theme. But show what makes your club unique, both in how you set up your room and how your people interact. And be welcoming and inclusive. So the language is all in that you use throughout is you're going to be talking about the program, talking with each other about the speeches they're doing, being a good audience, being a good model of what that Toastmasters meeting is like week to week or each time you meet, however often that is. So that is the what, is you do a program that's specific for the open house. The when and the where is it could be at your same meeting place if it's a large enough venue. Sometimes areas may get together, area clubs and multiple clubs may have an open house or informational meeting, and that's an option too. But the key in the how is you get all your members involved. Get your members together, or anybody can get a committee. If there's a few members that really want to focus on the open house, get them to brainstorm about ways to promote the open house and invite people to it. And then you ask, use multiple channels. You ask and invite people multiple ways. You don't ask people once, you ask them over and over again in different ways, so to promote it. And make sure they always know whenever they see anything about it, they know how to register and let you know that they're going to come. Promotion, and this is the area where a lot of people that are in a PR or VPPR position, they may not have done marketing before. And so when you're promoting it, my concept is you just start early. As soon as you know you're going to do an open house, start talking about it. Talk about it in your meetings. Make sure your members are all involved. You decide what you're going to do and get that message about what it is. Make sure the date is consistent and accurate, and you're personally inviting, people are inviting their friends and their coworkers to attend. So you're going to do a combination of personal invitations. One thing that some clubs suggest is maybe having a contest with your members who can bring the most visitors for the open house, or encouraging having an award of or a goal of every member bringing 2 visitors to the open house. If you're an open club, consider reaching out to businesses near where you work, or employees near where you work, or restaurants. They might let you put up a poster or flyer. You can create an Eventbrite invitation for free. You have to sign up and register for it. You can create an Eventbrite invite and get the word out to the community. I will tell you one of the things you need to know about things that are electronic and digital, like Meetup, or online, like Meetup and Eventbrite. Encourage your members to become part of your Meetup group. Encourage your members to register for the Eventbrite event, because your event needs to show that people are coming to it. So it's very important that you get your members involved and get them to sign up and register on the Eventbrite site, be part of your Meetup group, and that sort of thing. There are materials that you can download from the Toastmasters website. So those are going to be links within the follow-up page for this meeting. But you can use the flyers that are already branded, and you just put your company name on it. You're also going to want to have an announcement on your website or Facebook page so people can find it. And you may want to look at doing a press release. Now, that's something where our communications team could help you. I'd be happy to help you if you're wanting to do a press announcement or a media announcement. So those are open clubs. And one of the things that's actually, if you are having quality meetings each time you meet, in open clubs, you really almost could approach every single meeting as an open, because I know most open clubs, they have an open visitor policy. You can come visit us anytime and check out who we are and what we do and what Toastmasters is all about. Corporate clubs may be a little bit different, but you're going to want to take advantage of the promotion capabilities that are going to be similar and parallel to the open club promotion ideas. Again, you're going to want your members to invite the people that are at the company that they work with to come to a meeting, to come to your open house. You're going to want to send email invitations. Perhaps your club, if it's a corporate club, maybe they'll let you invite everybody in the club and get a larger room to demonstrate what Toastmasters is. You can post announcements on the internet site or the news, so take advantage of those capabilities within your company for an employee event. And some a lot of offices also have displays or monitors. So it may be low tech, like you print the flyers, maybe a little larger, 11 by 17, you put them up in the break rooms to encourage people to come. There may be monitors where you can submit to the HR department or the marketing or the internal communications and post your event on, maybe there's a revolving display that shows the activities and events across the company for employees. We also, when I was part of a corporate club, we also registered our event as a learning opportunity through the learning management system, and our HR department let us do that. You get it on the calendars and you make sure it's out there across the company. And basically, you promote over and over again. You can't really tell people too often, but it's more than one invitation. Then you prepare for it. And this is where it needs some people involved. Basically, again, just restating, you need as many of your members to be involved in it. You need people scheduled to set it up and tear it down. It's a larger meeting. So I think the Sergeant at Arms for your club should reach out and get some support for that. It can be a party. So maybe you have food, snacks, cheese, fruit, vegetables, but food and beverages. I know a lot of things. If people get food or get cookies, they're a lot more interested in coming. One thing that you definitely want for an open house, and this is where you'll have members that are going to have dedicated roles, are going to be giving speeches, giving evaluations, being table topics master, but you're also going to have those non-speaking roles and those support. So you're going to need to have timers. You can use your feedback sheets and ballot to show people how evaluations are done, but you're also going to need greeters. You need your members to have their name badge on or their name tag on and greet people as you have people greet the visitors as they arrive, showing them where things are, which agendas, welcoming them to the meeting. One other area of preparation, and this is actually something you really want to have available all the time, I call them Join Our Club packages. They're material that includes a membership form with your club number. So you've already got it completed with what that your club number and club name is. I suggest a lot of us have multiple copies of Toastmaster magazine, so you can put a copy of a Toastmaster magazine because they will, with their membership, get a subscription for that. And then select some branded material for Toastmasters. Maybe have a flyer that has your club name on it, your club website on it, and put those packages together. You can put those in a nice, colorful 9 by 12 envelope and have those available. So I basically, when we have visitors, I have quite a few of the Join Our Club packages available whenever we have visitors, but you need to definitely have them when you're having an open house so you can follow up with people. You also want to, I'm going to say, train your club members, but encourage your club members, tell them how to talk about Toastmasters, trying to encourage them to make it personal, while like asking the visitors open questions like, well, getting to know them at the start, making sure they feel comfortable, but also in having those conversations with the visitors to your club, answering any questions that they may have during the open house, during the actual meeting portion, and then having conversations with them afterwards and asking them what they thought. What was your favorite part of such and such that happened this evening? And ultimately asking questions to have a conversation and start building a relationship with them to be able to invite them to attend. And talk about their personal growth and what you're getting out. Make those stories personal about why you're still involved in Toastmasters. So all of those aspects are preparation for an open house. Okay. Oh. During the actual event, then, make sure the meeting room is set up. Make sure you have all the materials. Make sure the agendas are ready. You have ballot sheets, or you have note cards, you have pens, you have everything you need. Make sure, take advantage of Toastmasters International. You are an official Toastmasters International club. So be official, be branded, use Toastmasters material, display your banner prominently, put up the slide showing on the Toastmasters template. Welcome each guest, each and every guest. Talk with them, make them comfortable. Introduce them. Remember that they don't necessarily, you can't assume they know anything about Toastmasters. So as you're going through the meeting or as you're starting the meeting, describe what you're doing. Have each person that's filling a role, from the timer to the vote counter to the evaluators, have them describe what they're doing and why that's important to a Toastmasters meeting. Allow time in the meeting or throughout the meeting for questions and answers, and encourage visitors to ask questions. Ask them to ask questions, invite them to ask questions, invite them to talk to the group. Network with the visitors after your program. Ask them, and then ask them to join. Ask them, so are you thinking about joining? Just have a conversation about them and make the ask of asking them to join. A lot of times they can say they've had a good time, but if you don't actually ask them to join or ask them to make another step, to come again, some people need to come a few times before they decide to join. And it's not usually a monetary decision because it's a really reasonable professional development cost, but you do have to ask them. They have to be asked. And then, and this is a very important part, you may get people joining right then. We have, when we've had open houses, have people join right away. But you need to dedicate and commit to reaching out. It's not just people joining that at that time. You want to make sure you stay in contact with them. And if they do join, you also still need to stay in contact with them. But within a few days, depending on how frequently your club meets, that can impact how quickly. But within a few days, an officer or a club member must personally reach out to each and every visitor that came to your open house, whether it's a phone call or personal email or written thank you. I mean, even that simple. Reach out to those people, make a personal connection between your club and each visitor. Include the visitors in upcoming meeting emails. What topics, what speeches are happening. Stay connected, be approachable, answer questions, get involved with those visitors. You can ask them open-ended questions, trying to get them to talk about what they're interested in. Do you have any questions about Toastmasters or the meeting tonight that I could help you with? What did you like about tonight's meeting? Was there anything that was kind of weird or that you didn't like? I mean, just get them talking. Why did you come? How did you find out about it? And knowing those things. And ultimately, would you like to join our Toastmasters club now? I mean, you have that kit, you have those membership forms right there. You can get that information and get them to commit right then, but you have to ask. Oops. There are a lot of resources on the Toastmasters International website. And I did not know until actually this year. I've spent a lot more time on the Toastmasters International website, being at the district leadership level this year. But there's material you can use, like the flyers for the benefits of Toastmasters membership. When you're creating your Join Our Club kit and using branded materials, some of the material is free of cost for a member. So you can get those flyers, you can get those your Path to Leadership brochures, and you can get free. And each member can get a free package of 20 or 25. So you can have your officers all go on and request some free materials to put in your packages. You can also brand it by having a slide. Use the standard or the template for Toastmasters, the current one. Create a welcome slide. That's a great big Toastmasters logo branded element in your meeting right there. And you can turn the projector off during the speeches so it's not distracting, but as a welcome, it can be a really bold statement for your club meeting. You can also purchase Toastmasters balloons in the colors and have those up there and make it festive. So if you're in a meeting, you can use those to designate where your meeting room is so people can find it quickly when they visit your meeting. So take some time, look at the materials, and I'm going to have some links to some of the materials that are available in my follow-up communication and on the page to give you some ideas. But I would encourage you, take advantage of that brand of what Toastmasters is. A lot of people don't really know. They've heard of Toastmasters. It's been around a long time, but they don't really know what it really is and how it really works. So have those conversations with people and hold an open house. And I would challenge that your clubs try to have an open house in October this fall. And let's see if we can build up some members and get some growth for your club right now to support your club, so we're not trying to get new members at the last minute at the end of the year. So, are there any questions about that aspect of it? I'm not hearing, everybody's very quiet.
Diana, this is Kanos.
Hi, Kay.
How are you? Great presentation. I didn't know that much about having an open house. It was comprehensive and great presentation. Thank you.
Thank you.
My question is about press releases. Do we have a template or how we can do that? Would you please explain?
To do what? The PowerPoint?
No, press releases, like send the information to newspapers or those kind of things.
There is actually a press release, a press announcement template that is specifically for an open house. And that is one of those things, if you have not done press releases before, that us as a communication team, myself, I will help you with that if you want to do press announcement. But there is a model and a sample of an open house Word document that you can download and update for your club. And then you're going to want, and so there's some guidance within that template, and then I will help you with that, because press announcements, if you haven't done them before, it can be a little bit intimidating. But it's getting the word out, and hopefully getting somebody from the media maybe want to come and see the meeting in action and take pictures and do a story. Your club may be on the news or in the newspaper, and that's all good for your club as well as for Toastmasters in our district.
So how can we invite someone from the media? Should we call their 800 number or?
Yes, I will help with the specifics on press releases individually, because the media releases, it's all area to area. So what you're going to find, the people you're going to contact in Springfield are going to be different than the people that you contact in Kansas City, etc., throughout the district. So that's one of those areas where I'd like to help you do that for an open house. And if we need to talk about that separately, maybe I'll schedule another, do a recording and show people how to start that press release aspect.
I think this is something that we all need to know how to,
Mm-hmm.
because, for example, we are starting this Saturday morning club in Springfield. We need to do publicity about it.
Right.
This is not an open house, but it's a new club that we need to invite people to come.
Right.
I want to advertise a lot about it, but I really don't know how to send it to the newspapers or invite a journalist to come to our meeting and report it, or any of
Okay.
those kind of things. So I appreciate
Okay.
anything that I
I'll reach out to you specifically, and then if other people want us to do a session on that, let me know. Send me an email, and I'll get that in the works for us.
One of the things that I have done for this club is there are some like TV channels that they have a website and they have a community calendar on their website.
Yeah.
So I advertise our flyer in that one. Or City of Springfield has a website, and under their website they have a so-called events. That's what is happening in town.
Yeah, this is what's happening. And that's one of the things when our club is we got registered on different networking sites. So you can go beyond, so that your Chamber of Commerce may have a professional events and activities in your region. So you want to definitely get listed on those calendars so that it reach out beyond just you. We'll be talking more about using hashtags to try to get attention if you tweeted about things, and then take pictures, document your open house, and share that with the rest of the district via the Facebook page, and link your club's Facebook account or page to the district's website. So share those comments across the district and show other clubs what you're doing to promote your club, because we can all learn from each other.
Okay.
The other part, and is there something else? I heard somebody else speak up. Okay. The other thing that, and this is part of the reason I really like open houses, is it does, for a successful open house, you really are getting all of your members. Everybody that can attend and participate is part of it. And basically your members are, I call them, they're your club's ambassadors. They're the people out in the world. They're the people that are demonstrating and showing the impact that Toastmasters can make as they gain confidence. People, as you go along your path as a Toastmaster member, your public speaking, your confidence, it does increase because you're getting that regular practice to develop. You're pushing outside of your comfort zones on a regular basis. So those personal stories about what you've learned and what your members have each learned, or how Toastmasters has impacted them, then that's what you're wanting to do. We're going to include, so basically encourage each of you as the VPPR. I want you personally to start thinking about your elevator pitch for Toastmasters. It needs to be authentic. It needs to be personal. It needs to be your story. It needs to be jargon-free. You don't want to use, I'm going to say, Toast-isms, so Toastmaster language. It needs to be language that people understand, and it needs to be your story. I joined originally to gain more confidence, and now, well, I'm the PR manager for the district, and I have gained more confidence. I'm more focused in the objectives for my presentations, and I can share that, and people, when they see the impact as they're interacting with you in the business world or at work, they're going to notice those differences. So you're going to want, I would recommend that you prepare and share your pitch, your elevator pitch, your 30 to 60 second, this is what Toastmasters is to me and what I've learned from it. Think about the questions Why did you join Toastmasters initially? We all remember that first icebreaker we've given. Why have you stayed? What does it give you? There's a reason you're here. It's not just because you love being too busy. You're there for a reason. And think of those things you have gained from being a Toastmaster and being involved and actively involved. And use that to create your own pitch. And then talk to your club. Share your elevator pitch for Toastmasters. Share how you're defining it and encourage your other members. So do a speech on it in your club. Encourage your other members to create their elevator pitch. Challenge each other to creating your elevator pitch about Toastmasters, so that when you're talking to somebody and they say, well, I noticed you brought this up. I thought that was a great idea you shared in this morning's meeting. That might be an opportunity for you to talk about moving outside of your comfort zone and being able to speak up in meetings. So encourage your members and lead by example in your club. Oops, sorry. And encourage your club members to be those ambassadors and invite their friends and their coworkers and their neighbors to come to the meeting. And that's all I was going to share, and it looks like I've gone, we end in 2 more minutes. Are there any other questions that anybody wants me to address, or any comments?
Because nobody else has a question, then I ask my own question. Our club has its 70th anniversary this year in March.
I'm sorry, Kane.
That.
Okay.
Then I want some ideas about how we can do a big, splashy celebration and publicity out of it.
Okay. Well, I will post the resources, and Kay, how about I set a time for us to talk, to look at these things?
Yeah.
Is there a private Facebook? We don't actually have a private Facebook page for this group, but that's actually a good idea. Maybe I will create a Facebook page within our district Facebook site. So that's a great idea, where we can chat and post ideas. You can also post them actually on the Facebook page, and then it's not just this group necessarily responding, but it's everybody. But I will look at that and see if I can get that put in place. That's a great idea. Thank you, Christy. Appreciate that. Is there anything else anybody would want to share or bring up with the group?
I like to start a Facebook page for the new club that we are developing. I have never done that. I have created a Facebook for myself, but not a public Facebook. I want to get some training on that.
Yeah. Actually, I do have an upcoming webinar where I'm going to be talking about Facebook specifically, and how to establish and how to start using the social media to promote your club. So that is going to be an upcoming webinar, so watch for that one.
Okay.
And we are now at the finish our time, and I want to be respectful of everybody's time. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Joining us tonight. Thanks.
That was very good.
Okay.
Thanks, Diana.
You have a great evening, everybody.